I feel like I'm getting nowhere. Sometimes 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 I feel like I'm getting nowhere.
You're watching Freeform Television.
Fascinated me since the day I became a non-chain smoker, and I brought people onto the show tonight that will reflect different sides of this opinion that I share with my own brain, and my own brain encompassing, of course, you audience out there, and you audience on the floor, and you audience doing all these calisthenics here, you know. These different people that do things to these late night shows. God knows what you do when we have these late night shows. I'm like, God, you know, I don't even want to think about it. But I have been thinking about chain smoking quite a bit lately, and the only reason I think about it is because, you know, I myself am practically a chain smoker. And my first guest tonight is Marty Goldstein, and he's this guy. He used to be a chain smoker. Marty, you used to be a chain smoker?
Oh, 3-4 packs a day.
Yeah, that's you know,
I smoked in my sleep. I woke up every 15 minutes and I did.
That's the kind of thing I hear from these chain smokers. And it's got to be that way, you know. I mean, right? You can't. If you fall asleep with no smoke for 6 hours, you're not much of a chain smoker, right? I mean, not really. So, right, I've heard other people, other chain smoker friends of mine, you know, I've always had,
I never smoked a cigarette in my life.
Well, who invited this lady? I mean, oh, right, yeah, my producer, oh, he's always starting to spur me up. Right, okay.
Well, then what did you do for excitement? I mean, how can you get rid of your distress if you couldn't have, I mean...
I took pills.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Pills, right. The nicotine pills, you know, pills with filters on the end of them, stuff like that, right?
Boston cream pie pills.
Oh, okay.
Well, that makes a little bit of sense, but the only way I could quit was to do my eye movements every 30 minutes. I had to go through these exercises of eye movements to get rid of that thought of smoking.
Okay, tell me, Marty, though. Okay, you had these eye movements, right? I had the same, I talked to my doctors, I talked to, you know, my psychoanalysts and stuff. Okay, chain smoker, okay, I want to have eye movements. I'm the kind of person that wakes up every, you know, 15 minutes, like you're saying, but if you saw me, you're only going to say 15 minutes, how are you going to get eye movements? How do you do it? Okay, you're over it now, but before that, right, you had eye movements?
Yes.
And you were a chain smoker. Okay, well that's interesting to me because when I was a chain smoker, I didn't even have REM, you know?
No. I just dreamt. I only slept, 3-4 hours at the most, and it was a dream. And in these dreams, I would have eccentric, I'd go to these wild parties with real long cigarette handles, little cigarette in the end, puffing away, and I
The kind that are going to end for an hour and a half.
I could not get enough smoke, and then I'd wake up right in the middle of it and say, oh, I need a cigarette, and it feels so good now, usually. And then I'd be tired again, and I'd go back into it, or, I'd be on a planet somewhere, and driving my spaceship around, and the ashtray, there's a cigarette, and I'd pull it out and puff, 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 but I couldn't get any in my lungs. So I'd wake up again, and there'd be my pack of cigarettes, so I'd smoke one, put it out, and go back to sleep.
Another feeling, right? And then later, in your dream, you go back to sleep and you meet the alien, right? The alien, you pull out this kind of cigar. It wasn't really a cigar because it was something you could inhale, right?
Well, sure, it was colored, sometimes colored with like crayons.
Yeah, crayons, really neat colors, stuff that was thicker than your average cigarette. You got your average cigarette, what is it? It's like 3/8 of an inch wide.
Yeah.
You'd go to alien planets, it'd be 5/6/8 of an inch wide.
Yeah.
So you could smoke and in your dream you'd be smoking something that was, that would really satisfy you.
Yeah.
Back before you wake up, right?
But then it didn't. It wouldn't satisfy me. It wouldn't. It felt like it was going into my lungs, but my lungs never reached it.
Because that's what I hear from a lot of chain smokers. Even like me. I've been smoking a cigarette constantly since the show started, right? Have I been satisfied once? No. People that don't smoke cigarettes could never understand. They sit there on the stage, they'll go, oh man, they'll laugh at me, they'll do yoga. They'll do yoga and they'll freak their brains out, right? They'll go like, oh, nicotine in me, like, God, this is so awesome. What I'm doing now, but they just don't understand there's something about this nicotine stuff. And that's why I like to bring you along tonight, Marty, to tell these people, well, okay, tell them first of all, you're an amazing person. That's why I always like to bring people that are just, oh my God, some kind of idle person. Somebody that smoked, okay, what did you say, 3-4 packs a day.
Yeah.
And I was never more than 3 myself. And now here's the same person smoked all those cigarettes like I did and stopped.
And as you well know, I'm a professional mathematician. I've got my doctorate and everything, and all through those years in college, 8 or 9 years was it, doing calculus at my home, just writing in, writing. I would have to puff every time.
Exactly.
Between the sentence, writing the little, doodly watts.
How could you write without smoking a cigarette? Exactly. Well, I'm still there.
I felt like I actually thought that the cigarette put me into the frame of mind to think about 2x plus 3y equals 8,
Well,
square.
Well, see, it was.
But you don't need it.
Saying.
You don't need it.
But why not? I mean, how can you get to 8y squared without smoking a cigarette?
Tell me, please. I will be overjoyed.
I could not. I was in the process of learning. I had to have something to counteract my brain while I was learning. Now I know it all, so I don't need it. I got rid of it because I know it all. I have the spare time to just, but then I had no time. I didn't have any time to quit. I had to keep going and going. And now one of my lungs is gone. I mean, maybe that's what made me quit.
Well,
oh, you laugh. You're a yoga baby. I mean, shit.
God,
you were brought up by some Mahavishnu dude.
Yeah, this Jimmy Framework. What's his name? Oh, Jimmy Framework. Right, my producer, you know, he's always putting these people on. But, okay, so you say that you know it all, and then you could quit. Okay, right. How do I get to know it all so I quit? And after I know it all, what is going to constitute the fact that I'll be able to quit? A lot of people at home are interested in this. Please tell us, Marty.
A lot of questions pop up into your mind, but see, they don't pop up into my mind, and that's what the whole argument is. You're the question analyst. I'm the answer analyst. I have all the answers. I need not to ask any more questions.
Well, I need to
deliberate.
Okay, well, I understand that. You don't have to ask anymore because you're already there. You are nothing but an answer, right? You know, I'm still questioning because I haven't gotten there yet, and I want to know how to get there. And there's about, 25 million people out there right now.
And most of them are actually asking the same
They're
question.
asking the same question I am. And you've got these answers, you keep saying they're answers, and you have the answer, you know it all, and therefore you don't smoke. And what we are wondering is, what is the answer? How did you get that answer? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything. You know, I'm just...
Well, to tell you
This is like, as soon as this out, I'm going to let another one, and I'm going to want to know why I don't have to let
tell you the truth, the only reason I quit is because my psychoanalyst told me that I had to run 2 miles each day. And I ran like 15 blocks the first day, which doesn't even consist of 1/10 of a mile. And I coughed my lungs out. I was gagging to the max. And then after 3 days, I could not pick up a smoke. I slept for 3 or 4 hours, you know, without waking up. I could not. I dreamt having nightmares about sicking smoke, and it made me sick. And that's how I think I quit. It could have been just from running, you know. And now I run, you know, once, twice a week. If I smoke a cigarette, I'll get sick. Maybe that's but everybody can't run, you know.
Yeah, okay, it's all fine and well to say I ran and I choked, but I listen to those people that say running is gonna ruin my Achilles tendon. It's gonna like, oh, my Achilles tendon's gonna get ripped out of my foot. Oh my God, you know, and it's like, it's gonna ruin my muscles. You know, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna run like this, right? You know, I'm not gonna use my arms, and running's just like, you know, crap, you know. And so, well, but
you never know.
Okay, yeah, all right, well. Running. You started running and you choked your lungs out. Well, I can kind of relate to that because, well, it was about 3 years ago, NBC had, they had a little celebrity basketball game, 3 or 4 years ago, I don't know, and I was like stupid enough to say, oh, sure, you know, I played center when I was like, ooh, you know, so young, you know.
Did you smoke then?
I smoked for a few years before that.
Well, did you smoke because you were cool?
I smoked.
Did you smoke because you had to?
I smoked because I felt like I should. I felt like it was the thing to do. So I've been smoking for a few years, and after that, you know, well, yeah, I smoked because I felt like it was cool. Yeah, alright. It was kind of like the thing to do. It was like if I didn't do that, I wasn't going to fit into the mold of the people around me. And then I smoked, and then smoking became like a habit. Like it is for most of our viewers at home. Smoking is like it's as natural as you know, this. And then after that, it wasn't even a question. It was just I was a smoker. But then they had this celebrity basketball game, and you know, I was like, what was I? I was like 6'3". Hey, let's put this guy at center for a night. And I said, hey, cool, you know, I played basketball when I was in the Central High, you know. So I did, and I did. I ran around, and I found myself choking and stuff. And I hacked my lungs out. And I said, this is bull hockey. So I quit running around. And it hurt my knee. The next morning I woke up, my knee hurt. It's the same knee that I wake up every morning and it gives me pain. So I don't run. Running's not good for people, right? Look at Jim Fix. He died, heart attack. The great running expert, right? But, I'm not.
He ran himself to misery.
Oh,
Just like you're smoking yourself. Now it's the question of
he
where
ran and
do
he
you want
died.
to
I'm
quit?
smoking and I'm very alive. It's like,
But he was very alive before he died. He died suddenly. He didn't die of an illness. In 2-3 years, you might have a bad illness. You might have to get both of your lungs taken out. Then what you gonna do? How are you gonna breathe then?
well, then,
You're gonna have you're gonna have artificial lungs that smoke.
certainly, they have artificial hearts, right? Artificial lungs. Hey, all right.
It's gonna cost a lot of money.
Hey, when you're the celebrity center for the big basketball team on NBC, oh my God, you get all the philanthropists right in. Hey, we think these people are cool.
And you can always sue the tobacco company for not,
That was the next point I wanted to bring up with you, Marty. There's this controversy going on about people, the non-smokers, right? You're one of them. I mean, we have a prime example tonight of a non-smoker and a complete non-smoker right here doing this little thing on the stage here. Ex-smoker.
This lady,
Oh, right.
Marimbo lady, whatever, is a nut.
Right. And that's the thing. Because cigarette smoking is something that is underwritten by the government, right? It's a taxable thing. The government says smoking's cool, smoking's great, and we're gonna let these people go along. And, we're gonna tax them. We're gonna
Let them smoke.
Well, that's the thing. The people that don't smoke don't want to pay money. They got non-smokers don't pay taxes, right? You're a non-smoker that pays taxes. What are you gonna say about that?
Well, I wish I smoked. I crave it badly.
Well, I got one here. I got one here, Marty. You want one?
I'd like a chocolate eclair.
Chocolate eclair. Chocolate eclair.
If I smoke, I will never stop again. I can't really do it.
Well, okay, Marty.
That's the only way you can possibly quit is to say no and keep on saying it.
Can I try it?
I'll try that.
I've never tried it.
Hey, I am not one to take 4. Take 4 cigarettes a day. I am not one to hold back a yoga person. You do yoga? Right. Hey, I even have a lighter. This person has never smoked. Okay, Marty, are you watching this? This is a yoga specialist, right? She probably read Jane Fonda's book. She probably read, Raquel Welch's Greatest Hits or something. And here you go. What can I say, folks at home? This is my creation here. This is yoga. This is where yoga will lead. This is like running leads you into bad knees. Yoga runs you into smoking 4 cigarettes at a time. What can you say, Marty? I mean, come on. I mean, smoking is
I guess if she can have one, I guess I can just take one.
These two will get lit.
Okay, folks at home, you've heard of Bic lighters, right? They work every time. What can I say? Don't write to me, write to Bic. Smoking is a way of life, it is a way of yoga, it is a way of running. It is definitely a way that will lead us into our next guest, I am sure. And now, a word from our sponsors. It was going to be Winston. Of course, that was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago when we were in the building stages. And now just merely a subsidiary that's only heard on
I can't really
cable TV late at night. Even cable TV was supposed to be a person that no cigarettes. And we'll see you after the station break.
Walking through, running roll, crushing blow. Fell in need to rich man's greed. Lost of wits and all alone. Telephone, quarter entrapped. Statue slab. Kennedy can't help us. You're watching Freeform Television. Next up we have Blue Dixie. That was Blue Dixie here on Freeform Television. You've been watching Freeform Television. That's it for this episode. Till next time, take it easy.